Glenavon has just lost 1-0 at Mornview Park to Coleraine. I'm with Barney McKeown. He has kindly agreed to speak to us. Barney, what are your reflections on the game?
It's a difficult one to take. I think the boys knocked their pan in today. We left everything out in the field, and unfortunately it wasn't enough. We probably feel that we didn't deserve to lose the game. We probably didn't create the chances to win the game either, but I think a fair reflection of today's game would have been a point shared.
How difficult was it playing against that Coleraine team? They beat Linfield at Windsor Park 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they're a good team. I think we managed to keep them in front of us a lot of the time. They didn't really create too many opportunities that really threatened us. It's a free kick from probably 30 yards out, and it's a fantastic free kick in fairness. Whether or not it was a free kick, something we have to look at. But I think as good as they are, and they are a decent side, they move the ball well. I don't think they really threatened us too often. We managed to defend quite well, kept our shape, and we looked dangerous on the counter at times. But look, they're a good team. But as I said, I think we defended well, and we didn't really give them too many clear-cut opportunities.
The team today was slightly changed from Tuesday night. No Chris Atherton. How big a blow was it losing Chris?
Yeah, look, I think everybody that comes to watch us play knows how good Chris is. Unfortunately, he picked up a bit of a niggle from the match on Tuesday night. But look, you've Davey coming back in, and Davey's been fantastic over the last number of months. So I think he softens the blow of that miss of Chris Atherton, and Davey's a massive player for us in our system. And he was fantastic today again, and he was very unlucky to not hit the net whenever he struck the ball from distance. So Davey was fantastic today, and unfortunately, look, Chris is carrying a bit of a niggle, but I don't think he'll be out for too long, so we can expect him back soon enough.
Was it a blow not having an outlet on one side of the pitch in the first half?
Look, I think in the first half we probably didn't really defend as we would have liked, I don't think really on the ball we were too poor. I don't think, as you said, that lack of an outlet really affected us. I think we probably played into their hands at times and probably kept the ball in front of them when really the joy we were getting in the first half was putting it behind their centre halves and getting us up the field and threatening them that way, So I'm not sure if the outlet that we were missing in the first half was really much of a big blow. We needed to compact the middle of the field because that's where they get most joy and where they wanted to continue to play. I don't think there was too many times to put crosses into the box, so a lot of their play was through the centre of the field, and that's where we needed the bodies. So it worked well for us defensively.
In the first half we seemed to start well, and perhaps they came into the game towards half time. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think so. I think it probably comes from myself whenever I make the foul just outside the box and I get booked for. I think that's whenever the wee bit of a rocky spell came for us. Tag made a fantastic save from the free kick. We cleared it, but it was still deep in our half, and that's sort of where they managed to maintain that pressure towards half time. But as I said, they didn't really create too many chances. Maybe at stages we looked like we were under pressure, but we were weathering the storm rightly, and as I said, they didn't really create a chance where you're thinking, we're lucky not to concede. So I think for the majority of the first half we looked quite good, apart from that wee spell maybe 10 minutes before half time where they were keeping the ball in our half, but as I said, they didn't really get through us too often.
What was Paddy's message to the players at half time?
At half time it was that there's a real opportunity for us here, that we've defended quite well, but that we need to make use of our runners. We need to try and get their defenders facing their own goal, and we done that in the second half. I think for the majority of the second half we were certainly the better team. Obviously that means nothing. We've came away with no points, so there's nothing to show for our performance. But I think in the second half we put them under a lot more pressure. We probably looked more like the team that was going to score a goal, and unfortunately towards the end of the game they've scored the free kick. But I think on the majority for the second half we were certainly the team that looked like they were going to threaten more.
Tell us about the free kick. Were you disappointed with the referee's decision?
Look, it's hard. There was a couple of bodies in my way, seeing whether or not it was a free kick. I think initially beforehand there was maybe I know we were certainly shouting for a foul on one of our players on the right hand side of the defence, and then that leads to them breaking and eventually getting their free kick. But look, I think overall the referees, it's a tough job. I'm not going to be one here to sit here and give out about the referees. I think it can be a difficult game for them at times, so whether or not it's a free kick, that's not really what's disappointing. The reality is that we've conceded from it.
Did you see any hope of us coming back into the game after they scored?
Look, there's always that idea that we can do it. We still had about 10 minutes on the clock, maybe maybe 15. So there was still that belief, and I think when you've seen the effort levels of the boys in the last 10, 15 minutes, it showed that there was a belief, or at least a willingness to try and get that goal. And unfortunately, we never really created that there chance that gave us the opportunity to at least come away and say, well, we could have got another goal, or we could have got a goal that could have equalised it. But I don't think in reality, as much as we tried and we huffed and puffed towards the end, but we just didn't have that wee bit of luck or that wee bit of quality to put the ball in the back of the net.
What positives do you take away from the game?
It's difficult to take away positives, to be honest, because the reality is we want to win games of football. It probably wasn't our best performance this season, and had we come away with a point or came away with 3 points, we'd be delighted. But the reality is we probably haven't performed as well as we would have liked to. Look, that's not to say that the boys weren't at it. I think our effort levels were fantastic, and you could see towards the end that everybody was knocking their pan in to try and get us an equaliser at least. But as I said, look, it's difficult to take positives on a day where you haven't picked up points. We're at our home pitch here. We want to be winning here. So look, there probably is a few positives right now. There's nothing springing to mind. We'll watch the game back and clip it up and see bits that probably were positive. But yeah, it's difficult to take any positives whenever you haven't picked up any points.
They're a full-time outfit. You must be pleased with Glenavon's fitness levels.
Yeah, no, we're a fit team. It's not just about fitness either, it's about that willingness. Some boys, were probably blown there towards the end, but there was no letting up. Nobody slowed down. We kept trying and we kept huffing and puffing, and that's the more impressive thing. Not really about the fitness levels, more so that willingness from the group to continue running, because I can say for myself personally that there was tired legs out there. It's been a bit of a tough week for us, and we're bouncing into a game Wednesday, so absolutely, look, they're obviously a full-time team. They get more contact with the ball, they get more sessions, but I don't think you were looking at that game saying there's that there was a class difference between the two sides. I think both sides played some good football at time, and both sides showed that there's real quality in each team.
You were booked in the first half, Barney. How difficult is it to play out the remaining 60-odd minutes on a yellow card, playing in a defensive position?
Yeah, no, it is difficult, but I probably shouldn't have. I deserve to get booked, probably shouldn't have got as tight to Chevron as I did. But yeah, look, it's not about worrying about it, because if you worry about it, then you're probably going to do something that you shouldn't, or you're going to hesitate, and if you're hesitating as a centre half, then you're already in trouble. So I don't think it's something that was playing on my mind. But certainly after the game, it's annoying because that's my 5th booking now, so I'll be out of the game on Wednesday, unfortunately. Which is difficult because you feel like you're letting the lads down when you're not able to step out in the field. But look, that's football, and we move on.
Now, you've been playing alongside Harry Murphy in recent weeks. How do you find that?
Harry's brilliant. He's been absolutely excellent since he's come in. He's barely put a foot wrong, and we're striking up a bit of a good partnership at the minute. Me and Harry played together a few years ago, so it was nice to get back in a partnership with him, and it allows Quinny to step forward too. Everybody sees the quality that Quinny has, so the higher we have him up the field, the better we are as a team. So it's fantastic playing with Harry. Harry's been absolutely excellent, as I said, since he's come in, and he's brought a real level of quality to the back four since he's come in, and I don't think anybody could fault him for his performances so far.
So now we travel to the Oval on Wednesday and Windsor Park next Saturday. What are your thoughts going into those two matches?
We just have to keep going. We've every belief that it doesn't matter who we play, where we play them, that we can win, and that's the same on Wednesday evening. It's a tight run of games in terms of you're probably playing 4 games in 14 days, so it can be difficult for the boys, but as I said, and as you said, that the fitness levels are right up there, and that shouldn't affect us. We're looking at them 2 games. Glentoran, they're playing tomorrow in the cup final, so that gives us it gives us an extra day of recovery as opposed to them with 2 days or a day less. So we'll take it on our stride. We fancy ourselves against anyone, so it doesn't matter whether it's Linfield, who's at the top of the league, or Loughgall at the bottom of the league. We fancy ourselves to beat anyone, so we'll be bringing that mindset to both games.
Barney, thanks for talking to us, and all the best for the game next Saturday.
Thank you very much, George.